Hey everybody, guitar strings are in and it's time to get back to work on the low budget build here. I was waiting for the strings to come in so that I could go ahead and string it up and make sure that my neck break angle is okay. Once I'm confident about that, then I can go ahead and sand and polish this thing and get it installed. Then I can move ahead with the electronics. Well, I was getting all set to string it up here, and this thing doesn't have string through holes yet. So I guess I get to play with the drill press today. Cool. Alright, so probably be easier if we pop the neck back off here. This is one of the advantages of not having a set neck and using a bolt-on instead. You know, hey, you need to do some work on headstock and you need to get it up into a drill press. Not a problem. Just pull the neck off. Beats the heck out of trying to maneuver an entire fully assembled guitar into a drill press. That would be a nightmare. You have to set up extra benches and stuff to hold the body. Put it on a bar stool or something next to the press. Okay. The exact angle that they go, like this way versus that way, is not that critical. What is critical is that we get some nice straight string pull through here. So, also I got to decide exactly how far back I want to go. I want to go all the way back here, or do I want to go more up here? Should probably go further back. Yeah, I think further back. And see, using the drill press, if I get a nice straight line of holes here marked out, and I use the drill press to do them all, I'll end up with a nice straight line of holes on the back, guaranteed. Okay, I masked off the headstock here so that I can mark it out. Now what I want to do, as you can see, here's the truss rod cavity here, and there's the end of the neck. I think what I want to do is I want to have a line that's running halfway between the two that's parallel to the top of the headstock here. So I have a line along here, and then I come in with the ruler, and for each string I set the ruler square against the nut, and then I can come down to the intersection between the ruler and the line, and that's my point for that drill through, for that string through hole. And then I just mark them all out, take the drill press, zap them all out right quick, and I'm done. Well, that was easy. I measured that was 13 mil, so I decided to come down 7 from the top edge, struck my line, and then I got this square with the nut, marked out my number 1 and 6 points, and at that point then I measured the distance between them, and it was 35 mil, and I needed 5 gaps, so that worked out to a 7 mil spacing. So I just put it at one end and started marking off every 7 mil, and I'm done. Now all I got to do is punch it and drill it. Okay, all punched out, ready for the drill press. And there we go, all 6. And yeah, they came out nice and straight on the back. These are all 1/16. And now I need to drill out this one, number 6, to 5/64, which is the next size up, because that hole won't quite be big enough for a number 6 string usually. So that's what it looks like unmasked. And on the back there was a minor amount of tear out, so I just touched them all up with a bit of purple Sharpie in order to get it to blend. The balls will be back here and will pretty much cover all these holes anyway, so. Okay, time to pop this neck back on. Now that it's been drilled. So we want to go through the string through in the headstock. And then down here. There's our saddle line mark. So we'll do something about like that. We need a saddle. And string this thing through the saddle. Just like that. And then we come down to this tuner. And let's see. Obviously, you kind of have to get it put together a little bit before it starts holding itself together. Alright, so we're about there. Choke it up a little bit. Bend it around. And crank it up. Start cranking up. Let me go find my winder. The right way? Yep. Where's that saddle line? Right there. Oops, that's backwards. It's supposed to go over the saddle, not under it. Plus I need to crank these down. Okay, as you can see, the block is definitely high, so I'm going to have to take a few mil off of this with the planer. Okay, I wouldn't recommend trying this at home. You get the idea. Well, it took a while. Probably planed almost half of this thing off, but yeah, this is a good height here. With the saddle all the way down, action is like just there, just barely. The action is too low at the moment, so I can crank the saddle up just a little bit and get the action right about there, which is probably where it ought to be. Okay, so the bridge block is ready to go to the paint shop, and probably thinking ahead while I got the string on and can see what's up, I ought to think about the depth pickguard. Where's this pickup at? Is this going to give us issues? That's going to give us issues. We're going to have to introduce more neck break angle, and I'm going to have to make another block now. Wasn't thinking ahead. And let's see. As far as like the fact that this thing is not shielded, I've been thinking about it, and there's really, come here, cover. Just the tape. There's really, I had this off earlier, there we go. Yeah, see, it's just a single coil, so there's nothing I can do about the coils themselves picking up EM. About the best I can do is cut this off, like right here, and connect it to a shielded conductor, and that way only from here and the coils would be the only thing to pick up EM. So, but I mean, if you've already got all that picking up EM, does this little extra bit really matter that much? Because see, that'll reach, these leads will reach almost all the way to the jack. So, but I suppose cutting it off and using shielded cabling might be a better way to go. But this is supposed to be a low budget build, and that increases the cost. Now, one thing I was thinking of was you could like take a piece of electrical cord and just cut off a piece like this long, and it's actually, you know, 2 strands, so you split them in half to get 1 strand. You totally strip it, so you just had a bunch of copper wire, and then you could take that stuff, twist it up, and then twist it around this, or actually perhaps even braid the 3 together, and then take down at this end, you would connect it to whatever wire you're calling ground on your guitar, and by having it wrapped all around these, it would provide sort of shielding for this. But that's about the only thing that I've really come up with that's, and then the coil's still not going to be shielded even if you do that, so I don't know. But yeah, right now the first things first is this pickup's, I've got to add some brake angle for this pickup. Okay, Yeah, so this issue is it's the hazard of building a one-off custom guitar, totally new design. You don't, already know what break angles you need and things like that, so you just got to figure it out. Well, that was pretty easy. First thing I came across was a bit of the black pickguard material, and that seemed to work out to a good height for the pickup. And then this is some of the 3/4 inch flame maple, and that seems to be about the right height for the block. So all I got to do is get something like this, but in a 3/4 inch height going on, and I should be in the house. Plus I also need to shape this black pickguard to match this guitar neck and body. Okay, got the neck shim cut to size. Time to get it glued on here. Just a little drop, hold it in place. I've got the screw in there so that I can get it up kind of next to the screw. Not supposed to drop it. There we go. That kind of an idea. Still want the screw to be a drop fit, but there we go. Okay, I cut out a new block, a new bridge block on the table saw, and now I got to sand it. Just gonna like sand these two rough sides, and then round the edges, and I guess I'll sand the ends too. I don't want to sand a whole lot off the faces. Just smooth enough so that it'll finish nicely, because I don't want to change the height or thickness of it. Okay, all sanded and beveled and stuff like that, ready for the paint shop. Do want to figure out the depth pickguard situation. We get the neck back on. Okay, things are looking pretty good here. Might have to raise this about 1 to 2 mil in order to get final action adjustment over here. I'm thinking as far as like the height of the depth pickguard goes, probably use the height of the fingerboard at the low spot, the top of the fingerboard, not at the center, but out here near the edges at 1 6. Probably use that as a good rule of thumb, and then maybe go like a mil under that or something, a couple mil under it perhaps. So yeah, see what we can get here. Make sure things, yep, zeroed. And we're reading 22. Yep, I missed. Yeah, 22. About 22 mil. So maybe call it 21 mil. Or you could go 22, because you're going to be at like about 1 mil clearance there. Yeah, maybe you could go like 20, 21. Maybe call it 21 mil. Alright, let me write that down. That'll be the target height for the depth pickguard. Maybe what I should say is no taller than 22 mil. So 22 millimeters max. There we go. That's for the depth pickguard. Okay, so now that I've got that figured out, I can send this off to the paint shop and start fabbing up a depth pickguard. And yeah, cool. So here we are in the paint shop, doing the block, the bridge block. That's that. I just realized something interesting. If you look at my videos, I just got a warning that the battery on this thing is low, so I guess I'm gonna end it here. But what I just realized that was interesting is if you look at all my videos, for some reason, if you look at a picture of a guitar sideways, or if you look at almost any video of somebody working on a guitar, they've got the body on the left and the neck on the right. And for some reason, when I started working on guitars, that just seemed backwards to me. And I just realized why. Because when you look at a guitar from the player's point of view, the neck is on the left and the body is on the right when you're holding it. So that looks right to me as a player. And if you go and you look at probably almost any other luthier's YouTube videos out there, I bet you $1 they got it turned around the other way. Because they're thinking of, I'm a dude building an instrument. And I'm kind of approaching it as, I'm a player who just happened to take too much engineering classes in school. But anyway, yeah, battery's almost dead. That's going to do it for this episode. I was thinking about the depth pickguard. The original plan I was thinking was maybe do some 1/4 inch ply, but that's going to drive up the cost in this low budge build. So just as good. I think I'm going to cut some thin kind of stuff. This is too thin, but I'm going to cut some thin kind of stuff to be like the equivalent of 1/4 inch ply from same 2x4. And yeah, we might have to kick it up to 4 feet worth of 2x4. Ooh and ah, we're up to $4 worth of wood, or $3. No, you can get a whole 8 foot for 3 and change. So yeah, buy a whole 2x4, and then you'll have plenty of wood to do all the little bits. So yeah, I'm thinking just cut out a little bit of 2x4, just a thin piece, in order to do that part, and then put it on a stand, kind of a thing. I kind of like the stand approach because it looks more modern and contemporary than just having a big old block of wood there, which, I don't know, it looks kind of chunky. But anyway, yeah, battery's low, time to go. Until the next one, everybody, have a good one. And 20 seconds of B-roll for the closing credits. See y'all later.